you also use the word vessel. Heschel again, Heschel talks about this as well, more in another of his books, where he talks about the question of whether a prophet is a vessel or a partner of God. If the prophet is a vessel, then God is just pouring some content into the prophet, and then the prophet pours it into the people Israel who hear to whom the prophet makes the proclamation. Whereas if the prophet is a partner, then what the prophet is saying is the prophet's interpretation of what God is saying. The prophet is making this digestible to the Israelite audience that the prophet is speaking to. And what's interesting, I think, is that at times you get the feeling more of the one idea that the prophet is a vessel, and at times you get the idea that the prophet is more of a partner. And that's why you're not sure who the I speaking is. Heschel ultimately says that the important thing to realize that people don't realize is that often the prophet is portrayed as a partner, not just as a vessel, and that we sometimes miss that about prophets. Another way of phrasing this, in the 19th century, an English theologian named MacDonald, I don't remember his first name, who asks the question, is the prophet an ambassador or a postman?
Wow.
A mailman. If it's a mailman, the prophet's just like getting a message and handing it on to you. If the prophet's an ambassador, well, especially back in the 19th century, before they had like phones and when you were appointed like the American ambassador in London, it's not like you could call the Secretary of State or the president and get directions every day.
Right.
No, you were making up. You were the president's personal representative to the government of Great Britain, but you were making up American policy.